You know what's strange? When you stop texting her and she stops texting you, it feels like nothing is happening. Like silence means it's over. But here's the truth. The game doesn't end when communication stops. It flips, because silence isn't the absence of emotion. It's the stage where emotion finally reveals itself. When two people go quiet, one starts to reflect, the other starts to panic. And the one who stays calm in that quiet, that's the one who holds the power. So stay with me. By the end of this video, you'll understand why silence speaks louder than any message you could ever send. You see, modern relationships are built on noise, constant pings, stories, updates, validation loops. We're all addicted to being seen, but silence ruins that illusion. It creates a void where attention once lived, and that void forces truth to surface. When you both stop contacting each other, that silence becomes a mirror, and what's reflected in that mirror isn't about them, it's about you. This is where Stoicism enters, the ancient art of emotional control, clarity, and detachment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Silence in its purest form is both right and true because it's the absence of manipulation, the refusal to beg for validation. It's raw honesty without words. But here's what most people never realize. The moment communication stops, psychology takes over. Let's break it down. When you stop contacting her, two forces begin to battle silently. Your ego versus your peace. Your ego says, text her just one more message, she'll forget you. Your peace whispers, wait, observe, let her feel your absence. Most men lose right there, and that psychological tug-of-war, because silence exposes your attachment. You start overthinking, did I do something wrong? Is she talking to someone else? Maybe she's testing me. But here's the brutal truth. She's not testing you, life is. She's in her own silence too, and inside her mind, another game begins, the avoidance cycle. At first, she feels relief, no pressure, no texts, no expectations. Then the day's out. That relief turns into curiosity, then into doubt, and eventually emotional craving. Because what once felt like freedom starts to feel like loss. The avoidant mind only understands your value in your absence. When you stop chasing, you stop feeding her ego. And suddenly, she's forced to confront the emptiness that your presence used to fill. Here's what most people miss. Silence is not passive, it's active energy. It's the moment when emotional balance resets, when all the chasing, all the effort, all the control starts to flip. You see, attraction and power are never static. They shift depending on who breaks the silence first. The one who stays silent longer isn't cold. They're centered. They've stopped negotiating their worth. They've stopped chasing the illusion of connection and started creating presence within themselves. When you stop reaching out, something profound happens. Your silence turns into a mirror that magnifies the other person's behavior. If she were genuine, she would start to notice your absence and reach out. If she were manipulative, she would seek attention elsewhere. Either way, silence exposes truth faster than words ever could. And that's the Stoic advantage, the ability to stand still while the world spins. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Your silence is your reaction. It's not a weakness, it's emotional discipline, the highest form of strength. Let me speak directly to you right now, because this is the test that defines real strength. When you both stop contacting each other, your mind will crave closure. You want to explain, fix, or prove something. That's natural, the human side. But a Stoic understands that closure doesn't come from conversation. It comes from acceptance. Understand this. If someone truly values you, your absence will speak for you. You don't need to remind them of your worth. They'll feel it in your silence. This is the beauty of emotional control. You stop trying to win people back and start winning yourself back. The lesson is simple. Silence is not punishment, it's preservation. You're not ignoring them to manipulate. You're respecting yourself enough to stop explaining your value to someone who already knows it, but chooses to forget. And that's where your power returns. Because when you stop reaching out, you're not losing them. You're reclaiming yourself. So what does this look like in real life? Let's make this practical. When you both stop talking, don't fill that silence with anxiety. Fill it with purpose. Get busy, not as performance, but as evolution. Go to the gym, read, Build your body, sharpen your mind, master your craft. Not to get their attention, but to remind yourself of who you are without them. Every time you stop yourself from reaching out, you're rewiring your brain. You're teaching it that peace feels better than chasing. And here's the twist. That energy shift doesn't go unnoticed. People feel when your focus returns to you. Your silence becomes magnetic because it's no longer desperate. It's powerful. She starts to think, why isn't he texting me? Did he move on? Was he the one holding the real power all along? That's when the game flips, because silence creates mystery and mystery fuels attraction. But here's the stoic distinction. You don't use silence to get her back. You use it to get yourself back. When you start building yourself from within, you realize she was never the validation, only the reflection. As your energy stabilizes, you stop chasing outcomes and begin to embody peace. And ironically, that's when the world, and sometimes even she, starts chasing you. So let me ask you this. If you both stopped contacting each other right now, would your silence bring you peace, or would it expose your dependence? Because that answer, that's your truth. Most people struggle to handle silence because it forces them to confront themselves. But a Stoic, he welcomes it. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." That's where you must live. In that inner fortress where no message, no delay, no rejection can shake your foundation. So the next time the contact stops, don't panic, don't chase. Let silence speak. Because silence doesn't end stories, it reveals them. And in that stillness, remember you're not losing control, you're mastering it. If this message hit your mind and your soul, take a breath and remember, silence isn't the end.